Hey everyone, welcome to the Canine Culture Podcast, where we talk about everything dog. Q&As with veterinarian professionals, rescue operators, everyday topics. We cover everything dog on this podcast. So make sure you subscribe to the Canine Culture Podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure you're following us on social media on both Instagram and Facebook. Thanks again for listening. Now here's that next episode. Hey everyone, welcome to the Canine Culture Podcast. This is your host, Brittany, and today we are joined by Kim. She is one of the founders of Bubbly Paws here in Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you, Kim, for joining us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited.
So before we get into Bubbly Paws and what you guys offer and everything you do, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
My background with dogs or just...
Yeah.
Well, I've always had a dog growing up. I'm an only child, so, that was my companion growing up was a German Shepherd, and he was like my babysitter, my best friend. So I've always had dogs in my life. I have depression, and they just always lift your spirits. So they have always been there for me.
And you're pretty active in the rescue community with the Humane Society. You do a lot of outreach in the community.
I do. I've worked with Ayla's Acres, which is down in St. Augustine. I've worked with FUR, which is Florida Urgent Rescue. And then I've done some things with the Humane Society. And I'm looking into other possibilities to help with too. So
That's awesome. Yeah. So tell us about Bubbly Paws. What is it, and how did you come up with the idea to get that started or to open one up?
Well, Bubbly Paws is a self-wash and grooming facility. But what we have there that I think is a little different is that our tubs, when you come in, are higher, so you're not leaning over, breaking your back to wash your dog. We have a little extra lift that goes on the tubs for the little dog, so you're not bending over. All of our shampoos and stuff are there for you. They're all organic. But we have been looking for a business for probably about 10, 15 years, and I just couldn't find anything that was dear to my heart or that I was just going to be so excited to go to work with.
Right.
So this popped up. We had a lady that showed us this. It started in Michigan, I believe, with a man and his wife and their kids. They had a boarding facility and actually realized that the dogs needed washing before they went home.
Right.
So they started Bubbly Paws. There's only about 11 stores now in the country. But I just love it. It's just a sweet environment. We don't want any anxiety from any of the dogs. We try to calm them down. We don't kennel any of the dogs. They're either up there with me or they're with a groomer until the owner comes. So, yeah, you can come in, self-wash your dog. We have a scrub club, or you can come and have your dog groomed. And I was very particular about my groomers. They're like part of my family now, even though we just opened November 15th. But they love the dogs as much as I do. They love what they do. They're very particular about how they cut the dogs, how they handle the dogs. I hear them in there talking. One was singing to the dogs one day. So it's just it's really sweet environment for the dogs.
So you guys have the self-service, and then you have the groomers as well if someone is short on time or needs a little extra service. So let's start with the self-service. So you've got the tubs, and they're very accessible because of how high they are.
Yep.
You have all of the products there. So what are the products that are offered? A shampoo? Is there like a conditioner or like a detangler or anything?
Yep, we have Bubbly Paws shampoo and conditioner, and then you can upgrade. You can get a de-shedding. You can get our oatmeal bath. We have hypoallergenic. If your dog's really stinky, we have some stinky shampoo that helps with that. We have all your brushes, all your towels, and then once the dog is finished and you're all done, we have a room that just has 2 blow dryers in it. So you go in and blow dry your dog, because as you know, if a dog's fur isn't completely dry, it can get mold and yeast underneath their fur and cause them to scratch and itch and have a lot of skin problems. So yeah, it's not a regular dryer. It's a hardcore dryer.
Yeah. And you guys in Jacksonville, you're located at Hodges and Beach.
Correct.
If anyone's listening in the area, it's right by Target, Chick-fil-A, all of that.
Yep.
So if you're coming home from the beach, which I think is ideal to just drop in, wash your dog because you've got to usually give them a bath after being at the beach.
Yep.
So if someone does want to come in for a self-service, can they book from their phone? Can they get in same day? How do kind of like appointments look like?
So we have 4 tubs. We never have appointments for self-wash. You just come in anytime you're ready.
Okay.
And we're there 7 days a week. We're on Monday through Friday. We're there from 10 to 8. On Saturday, we're there from 10 to 6. And Sunday, we're there from 12 to 6. So no appointment needed for self-wash. Just bring your dirty dog in, clean your dog, dry your dog, and we clean up all the mess.
Yeah. Which is perfect because my dogs make a mess when I bathe them at my house.
I know. I have a husky, so I totally understand the mess.
And then as far as the groomers, so they do, will the groomers also give them a bath if they need it?
Well, when you book for a grooming, that's included in part of your grooming. You get a bath, you get nail care, you get the ears clean. Even though you can also clean your dog's ears while you're come in for a self-wash too. Nails, and of course the private areas, we make sure that smell's not coming out. Yeah. So they do that too.
Right. So for the groomers now, is that something they can book online or can they call? Is it okay to do either? How would you book one of the groomers?
It's usually easier to go online because there's a lot of information we want. We actually want a picture of your dog so that the groomer can start kind of preparing about what kind of dog. So you put in all the information about your dog, your rabies shot, and make sure that they have that. And or you can call us and we can book for you. But yeah, we're online at Bubbly Paws Jacksonville. So just go online and book our groomers. I love them. I would somewhere that I would take my dogs to.
Right.
So
yeah. What's one of the challenges or what's the biggest challenge you guys have faced since you opened back in, it was November, right?
November 15th, yeah. Yeah. Just trying to get business. It's hard to, market and get out there, but you got to have boots to the ground and, work it any way you can to keep it up because I love dogs. I love being there, so I just want to see more dogs coming in. Yeah.
I think it's tough in Jacksonville specifically because we have so many little strip malls. And if you were to ask me what's in 90% of the strip malls, even on Beach Boulevard alone, I have no idea. We get into the habit of going to the same place. And I hadn't even seen Bubbly Paws. And I go to that Target all the time. And then someone in the animal rescue community was like, oh my gosh, there's this new grooming facility that has self-service. And that's how I found you guys. So word of mouth is powerful. Social media is powerful. So if you are in Jacksonville, make sure you go find them, support them, help them grow. And one thing, let's talk about the future of Bubbly Paws, because I think people are going to love how committed you are to getting more involved with rescues, with helping other groomers. So let's talk about some of the future stuff you see coming up.
Well, we're definitely going to get involved with some rescues. We want to have adoption day at the facility, so you can come in and meet some of the dogs, meet the organization that they're with, because I don't think a lot of people realize that if they're not with the Humane Society and you're with another rescue, those dogs have to go to foster. I've had several fosters. So, and sometimes it's hard. You don't want them to stay in that one house for too long. You want them to find their forever home. So yeah, I've been a foster fail several times. But yeah, I want to get involved with our local rescues. I want to make sure that we're helping the Humane Society. We're also going to do some things with doodles. I know that Labradoodles is a big thing right now.
Yeah.
Any type of doodle. And their hair is totally different. And to learn how to take care of that, we're hoping we can have a class soon. We already have the material ready. So come in and take a class and actually learn how to take care of your doodles. So when you bring them in for grooming, they're not having to be shaved because they're so matted.
Yeah, that happens so much. I see it all the time on like Instagram and other social media posts from groomers. And someone brings in their doodle and they're like, just trim them. And every time they're like, they were so matted, we had to shave them. And the owners are disappointed, but I think it's just a level of like education and understanding how to brush your doodle, how often, and the type of brush to use.
Yeah, and type of brush to use because I remember we were drying one and as she's blowing dry, you could just see the mats underneath what was already there. And you can brush, but you don't always feel those mats.
Right.
So you're thinking you're getting it all, but you're really not. And those mats hurt the dogs. It's like you having a really tight ponytail, and it's just constantly pulling on you. So.
Yeah. So is there something you've seen, like a recurring issue outside of the doodles? Because that's definitely one. So brush your doodles. Is there like a recurring issue you see that you would give people advice on as far as maintaining your dog's hair or hygiene or something with grooming, like something you've seen already?
It's probably their paws, because I think I have little wipes at home that when my dogs come in, I try to wipe their paws because they can get yeast infections in there. They can get little grass edges in their little paws too, which hurt them, but they're not going to complain.
Right.
You know, so that's just not what they do.
Yeah.
So I think just making sure that you maintain their little paws, making sure here in Florida they're not walking on really hot asphalt.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people know how quickly their little pads can burn on the hot pavement. We want to make sure that they're not walking on that hot pavement. So, yeah, just watching their little paws.
Yeah, I think that's one spot. You never really stop to look at the dog's paws. That's one thing we don't see that much. We don't touch it that much. And so I think that's a great point, because that's one of the last things we're thinking about is their feet. And like you said, dogs aren't going to complain. So you really don't know if they're having an issue, because they're probably just going to proceed with their day. But they might start licking or pawing or kind of chewing, and that's kind of how you know.
Yeah. And then if you look at their paws and they're a white dog and they've got red color coming up on there, that's telling you that they're having an allergy or digestive problem. So, you know, their paws tell us a lot about them.
Yeah. Yeah. What has been the most rewarding part so far of Bubbly Paws?
Honestly, I was talking to my groomers the other day, and, you know, people will come in and say, oh, my dog's so aggressive. They're not going to get in the tub. They don't like water. And, you know, the owner leaves and we take care of them. And I have not had one dog be aggressive. They're just so sweet. I just love being around dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just... Yeah, it's just been fun.
Yeah.
Been fun for me. Of course, my husband said that, you know, hopefully we can get this business and I won't bring home any more dogs. But I did bring one home from the Humane Society, you know, in November. So, yeah, we just keep adding. But, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I know.
I mean,
Well,
and you've got a
I think so,
place to
too.
give them a bath. So it's not like you have to do it at home.
They say clean.
So where can people find you guys? So website, social media, and then also... give us that address as well.
Okay, our address is 3267 Hodges Boulevard, and our phone number is 904-712-2990. We're located right there at Beach and Hodges, behind the Chick-fil-A, right beside Five Guys, and right around the corner is Crumble Cookies.
Crumbles right there.
Yeah. Target's in the parking lot, and the Dollar Tree. I mean, you can't go wrong if you come over
Everything's
and drop your
there.
dog off. You know? So it's a good place. Good place to go. We're on Instagram, and we do have a Facebook page, Bubbly Paws Jacksonville.
Awesome. Well, we are looking forward to helping you guys grow and helping you guys get more active in the community. And thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to the Canine Culture Podcast. Please make sure you subscribe to the Canine Culture Podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure you're following us on social media. If you have any recommendations, any topics that you'd like to hear, if you know of any guests that would be good for the show, or if you yourself want to be a guest, please reach out to us. Send us an email at canineculturepodcast@gmail.com, or send us a direct message on social media. Thank you for listening, and please share this with any of your dog-loving friends.